This conference will now be recorded.
Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs and back to WebDriverIO series. So today I'm going to show you that how to handle checkbox, right? So how exactly you are going to click on it, and I'll tell you a couple of examples of assertions also that we have already configured in our configuration file, right? So if you take this particular example, let's say you go to this particular site, some basic checkbox I'll take, and on this internet hero kuapp.com, you just click on this particular checkboxes and you will see that one checkbox is available over here. You inspect this particular checkbox and you will get to know that you inspect this guy, and this checkbox is actually available under this particular form ID, something like this, right? Input, and then this is first checkbox and this is the second checkbox. So we will create an element in such a way that we will pass the index. Let's say I'm passing 1, it should select the first checkbox. If you're passing 2, then it should select the second checkbox. So if you really want to create the CSS selector for this, so let's see, I'll be using this particular form ID, and then I'll be writing something like this form. This is the ID, so I'll be using hash. So form, okay, ID is checkbox, and then I'll be using uh, simple the input field. Under that particular input, 2 elements are there, and then I'll be using nth child. Which child? Let's see, I'm passing 1, so you will be getting the first guy, and if you're passing 2, you will be getting let me show you once again, just a second, nth child 1, so you will be getting this first nth input, and yeah, okay. And then if you're passing 2, let me pass n over here. Let me pass 0. Okay, for 0 it's not working. For n it's showing 2, and then if you're writing 1, the first element, and if you are passing 2, okay, let's see. Okay, we will see. So something like this, I'll create an XPath like that. Okay, so let's see, this is the first guy. Okay, now what I'm going to do, either you can write a space over here, and you can write one, okay, bracket also, like this also you can simple write. Let me check. Now it is okay, it's not picking, but let's see, something like this. I'll be creating one CSS selector for this. So I'll come over here, and then for this particular page, we have to go to the first page first. For this particular page, I'll be creating one page object. So one page class I'll be writing. So I'll right click on it and simple go to file, and let's see the page I'll give. Let's see, this is the welcome to the internet. So I'll be writing something, let's see, some internet page. So you right click on it, create a new file. I simply write internet page.js, and here I'll be writing a class. So let's see, my class name is internet page class, like this. And here I'll be defining the page objects and different methods or actions I'll be writing for this particular page. So first I'll see that I inspect this guy. Let's see the checkbox. And here you will see that, okay, this checkbox is available under UL, then LI, then A is available, like that. So how will you write the CSS for this? So I'll be writing UL, then LI, and then I'll be writing nth child, like this. And if I'm passing 6 over here, right, if I'm passing 6, it's presenting the LI checkbox and then space A. It means it's presenting this guy. So I can use this particular CSS selector to click on checkbox. So I'll be writing a generic method for that. I simply say that, let's see, get, or let's see, get link element, something like this, and I'll be passing the index over here. So I'm not writing a getter because we are passing index, so I have to create a normal method like that. So I've created this particular method or function, and then I simply say that, okay, get link element, which will return what? It will return a dollar, and okay, the same CSS selector I'll be using over here, but I have to write like this. Okay, and this particular index, whatever, okay, the index you want to select, and I have to write index like this, a dollar, curly brackets, like this. This already I have explained in the previous video. right? Because we have to use this particular index, so I should not use single quote over here. I have to write this particular code like that. Okay, this is a special character that I have to use it. Now this is the first, let's see, element I have created, link element. Now I have to do, I'll create one more method that will click on link method I'll be creating on the basis of index. So when I call this particular method, I'll pass the index, and then now I'll be using this dot get element. I'll have to pass the index, okay, index, and then what we have to do, we have to click on it. So before that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one method that when you, before clicking, I want to check that, okay, this element is displayed or not. So I simply write dot wait for displayed method is there. Okay, so simple wait for displayed like this. So I'm going to wait for it, and then I'm going to click on it. So simple this dot get element by index, okay, and then simple, then you have to click on it. So dot click, fine. So click on okay, link, I'll be doing it. So when you click on it, so I'm landing over here, and here you see that after clicking on it, you inspect this particular checkbox, and then you will get this guy, right? So now how will you create a checkbox? So I'll simple write get method, and I'll be writing something that get checkbox element. So get checkbox element like this. One method I'll be creating, and then I'll be passing the index over here. And then it will return what? It will return a web element on the basis of index. So I'll simply write dollar bracket, okay, whatever the form is there. You can see that form ID is, okay, hash ID space input, okay, and which input? I'll be writing nth child, okay, nth child, and whatever the index that you are passing over here, the same index you have to pass with dollar. So in bracket this index. So it will return this particular checkbox element. We just need to pass the index. Now I'll be writing one more method that we have to click on that particular checkbox. So how will you click on it? So click on, okay, checkbox on the basis of index. And now this time I'll be calling this particular method. So how to call this dot like this index. First I'll be waiting, okay, wait for display. It is displayed or not. And after that I'll be clicking on it. So I simply write this dot get checkbox element index, and then simple dot click. Simple, you have to click on it, right? So it will exactly click on that specific checkbox over here. Once it is click on it, that's it. So how many methods we have written? Let's see, 4 methods we have written. Now I want to verify that when you land on this particular page, this particular heading is there or not. So let's see, this is H3 heading, H3 checkboxes, right? So I'll be creating one more getter over here now this time. This is, we don't need to pass any parameter. So we can pass, let's see, H3 header. It will return what? It will return dollar bracket H3. Okay, H3 element, it will simple return. And then once this is done, I simple write, I have to export this. So I simple write module dot exports is equal to new internet page, return the object of this particular class. That's it. So module dot exports, you have to write out of the class. Sorry. So when your class is completed, after this bracket, you have to write, and then you simply save it. Okay, so these are the basic methods. Let's see, I have written in this particular page class. Now I'll go to my test, right click on it, create a new file, and now I'll be writing, let's see, this is my checkbox dot test dot js, and here I'll start writing my, okay, test over here. So how to write? First, we have to import. So import the particular file in this particular object. Let's see, internet page is equal to require, and what exactly you require from this particular dot pages slash internet page. Okay, simple. So we have to import this particular internet page, and then we will simple write our describe. Let's see, something I'll be writing. Let's see, handling checkboxes, comma, function, your callback function, and then I'll be writing one it block. First it block, let's see, I'll be writing should, sorry, to write code should click checkbox, something like this, comma, function, and first I have to launch the URL. So browser dot URL method is there, and here we have to launch the URL. So my base URL I'll be writing. So in my configuration.js, the base URL is already written. You can see that this is the base URL. So you don't need to write the URL once again over here. You can simply write, okay, the base URL /. That's it. So it will launch the URL from the base URL from the configuration. After that, what we have to do, we have to internet page, we have to call. First, we have to click on the checkboxes. We have to click on the checkboxes link over here, right? So this is available on 6 index, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what I'll do, which method that we have created click on link, and here we have to pass the index, and my index is 6 over here. So what will happen? Click on link, it will come over here, it will pass the index 6, and then it will get the link element, it will return 6 from here. Okay, it will pass the 6 and it will return the 6th element, wait for display, and then finally click on it. So it will simply click on it, right? So when it clicks, so let's see till here it's working or not. So how will you execute this particular code? How will you execute this particular file? We have number of test files are available over here. So I have already explained how we write it. If you want to execute a specific test, you simply write npm test slash hyphen hyphen, and then one more hyphen hyphen spec. After that dot test directory. After that checkbox dot test.js, and then you simply run it. So browser is getting launched, entering the URL, and everything is fine. Okay, it should click on this. So I'll do one thing, click on link 6, and then I'll do one thing just to showcase you guys that it's clicking or not. I'll make a pause over here. So pause for, let's see, 5 seconds, and you run it again. See, it's clicking on it, and we are landing on the checkboxes, and after 5 seconds it will be closed. Perfect. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, we have landed on that particular, okay, checkboxes over here. After clicking on this, now I want to select this particular checkbox. So how will you select? To select this particular checkbox, before that I want to check that, okay, this heading is displayed or not. So how will you do that? Dot, remember that h3 header element that we have already created, and then I will be using simple dot wait for display. So wait for display is kind of implicitly wait over here. It will wait for the specific element, and then it will perform. If it is not visible, then it will throw an exception. So wait for displayed, and once it is displayed, then from the internet page dot, and I'll be using click on checkbox. So which checkbox? We have to pass the index, so I will pass 1 over here. It means select the first checkbox. So we will pass 1 and wait for display, and then simply click on it. So okay, click on checkbox. So once it is clicked, guys, once it is, let's see, it is clicked, what we have to do that when you click on this particular element, automatically this checked property is there. So here what we have to do, Here we have to write one assertion over here that expect. So expect is a chai assertion. From where it is coming? That we have already configured over here. If you remember, in the first session, we have already configured all these chai assertion that expect, assert, and should. So what we have to write, we have to use expect, and what exactly you are expecting. I'm expecting, bracket, I'm expecting that from the internet page dot, okay, internet page dot get checkbox element, which element, the first element dot, one method is there is selected or not. So if selected method will return true or false. And then I'll be writing dot equals, it should be true, like that. Right? So this expect, just like assert dot assert equals or something like this. And then internet page get checkbox element, it means the first, this particular element passing the index. So it will return the first element if, and we have already selected. So if it is selected, then it will return true. So that's why we have to write something like this, that is selected, it should be true or false. If it is not selected, it will return false. So equals true. So this is a simple assertion that we have written, right? And after that, wait for 5 seconds and then simple close the browser. Now write it again. And you see my test case, it's saying expect is not defined. Okay, so expect is not defined. So what we have to do, 1 second, let me save this particular file first. Expect is already defined here. Let me check it again, just a second. Okay, 1 second, it should click on checkbox, it's getting failed, and it's saying that expect is not defined. 1 second. The page is selected, dot equals true. Okay, this is perfectly fine. Okay, checkbox element one dot is selected dot equals true. Okay, just a second, guys. Let me check why it is not defined.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so guys, it was my mistake. There was a spelling mistake. It should be expect. So earlier I have written EPXCET, something like this. So now it is, you can see that it is working fine. Okay, so you have to write expect. Okay, so it was my mistake. Sorry about that. Okay, so again, you can see now this time should click on checkbox. Absolutely working fine. And it's saying that, okay, yes, it is true or false. Yes, assertion is getting passed. Right? So like this, guys, you can handle the checkbox. Now let's see how you write the assertion for something. I'll write one more it block over here. And I'll write one assertion for the browser URL, whatever the page URL is there. So let's see, I'll simply write a URL that check page URL, and then I'll be writing. Now see, this is also a very good example for the assertion. What you have to do, you have to launch the URL, browser dot, okay, URL, and after that, I'm expecting that expect, okay, no spelling mistake, expect what? Expect that browser dot, okay, browser dot get URL method is there. And this particular get URL method will give you a specific URL, whatever the current URL is there. This is just like driver.get current URL in Selenium. So get URL, it will give you this particular URL. Okay, okay, run this particular program. You come on this page, it will give you this particular URL, and then it should be equals to, so simple, right? Equals what? It should be equal to this, or you can write in double quotes as well, like this. Okay, so this is a kind of assertion that we have written, that expect browser.get URL dot equals this particular URL. Okay, now let's run it and let's see it is working or not. So two test cases are there, check page URL and should click on checkbox. And let's see. Okay, okay. So you can see both are getting passed, right? So should click on checkbox as well as the first URL also working fine. Now see, in this particular test, we've already launched the URL, right? And then in the second test, again, we have to launch the URL so that we can click on it. So if you want to ignore this particular line, you can ignore it, okay? Because the browser launch is already done over here, right? And then again, you can ignore this line. But for the safer side, if you really want to launch the URL once again, you can simply do it. So you can comment it out also, and then you run it again, and let's see. The first one is, and then she's clicking on it, selecting the checkbox number 1, and then it should work fine. Again, two test cases are perfectly working fine like that, right? Now let's say I want to write one more test over here that it, and I simply write checkbox page header, okay, or I simply write checkbox page header, something like this, and function simple like this. Okay, you can write it block like this, and then again, what we have to do, internet page. First, we have to click on it, right, guys? So first we have to click on. So let's see, I'll be writing click on link number 6. I'll be writing the same step over here. Click on link number 6, and then I'll be using this particular method over here. So from h3 header, wait for it, and from the same internet page, dot your h3 header dot get text method is there, which will give you the text, right? And then I'll be storing in a variable. Let's see, I'll simply write a const variable, and I'll be writing text is equal to this. Okay, and then I'll be using expect assertion over here. Okay, so assertion is simple. What is the text that you are getting? Okay, dot equals and whatever the heading value. So the heading value is this, right? This is what we have written, checkboxes, and that's why we have used dot get text, and it should be equal to this. Okay, so let's see one assertion that we have written over here, right? Now let's run it again. Let's see. Okay, so something is wrong here. It's saying that okay, 2 passed, 1 failed. Should click on checkbox is not working. So I'll do one thing that it's clicking on it, and I'll do one thing. Oops, I'll be launching this particular URL over here once again for the safer side and uncomment this guy. Okay, and then I'll do one thing. Let me cut it from here and then simple paste it over here, right? And now let's see once again. Now this time 3 test cases got passed, because earlier what was happening that after clicking on it, and we have already commented this particular line, so it was checking that okay, where exactly the click on link, because we are already on the checkbox page, so that's why we have to uncomment it. Okay, now it's absolutely working fine. So 3 tests, let's see, I have written now this time 3 are absolutely working fine. Now one more thing, guys, this is the hard-coded value, right? This is the, we are comparing that, okay, this, whatever the current URL, it should be equal to this. If you don't want to write it like this, you can write it like this as well. Let me comment this. Instead of this, what you do, you simply write dot equals and bracket like, quotes like this, and simple like dollar and then browser dot options dot base URL. You simple write the property name coming from here. So whatever the base URL that you have written, okay, the same base URL property name that you have to use. So you can directly write base URL. So this is, instead of putting the hard-coded value, whatever the current URL is there, it should be the base URL like this. So like this also you can simply use it. And now you run it again. Let's see it is working or not. Okay, so you can see that everything is fine, and then 3 tests got passed once again. So you can remove the hard-coded values as well, right? Now, if you really want to write that checkbox page header, and if you really want to write one more it block, checkbox page URL. Okay, so you come on this particular page, click on it, heading, instead of checking the heading, what you do after clicking on it, you can use the same URL over here like that, base URL, right? And I simply write slash and whatever the checkbox is over here, right? This is a slash checkboxes. So let's see, this is okay working or not. So this is my, after that, this is my fourth test. Let's see. Okay, so again the problem is okay, so we have to, it's taking double check. So let me remove this, and then because in base URL we have already written this slash, so remove this slash, and now you put your slash once again. So that's why, can you see that? See the error. If you see the error, you immediately will get to know after .com it's putting 2 /, right? So we have to write one single / over here and remove the / from here, from the base URL. Okay, so these small things, guys, that you have to remember. You have to be careful, and then run it again, and let's see. So it's still running. We can ignore now 5 seconds wait. Everything is working fine, or still there is a problem that oops, expect so it should be equal to this like this, because okay, the current URL is coming with /. Okay, now let's write again. Let me remove this browser dot and write again. Okay, now this time all 4 test cases absolutely working fine. So check page URL. Now we have to write okay / over here, because from the configuration we have already removed the /. Okay, so whatever the current URL, it is coming along with the /. That's why we have to write it like this. And checkboxes and the checkbox page URL also like this, we have simple written. Okay, so that's all for this particular video, guys. I hope you are learning WebDriverIO. It's very simple, very straightforward, and very fast, amazingly good. And I'm really liking it. And then please practice. You can do the same practice on some radio buttons or maybe some other website where the checkboxes are available, and then you can write multiple okay methods and classes and the pages and the test. You can simply write it over here, right? So that's all for today, and I hope you guys are enjoying this particular series. And if you have any doubts, please write your doubts in the comment section. Definitely I'll have a look over here. Thank you so much, guys.